Van. Hello, everybody, from Pitt Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mutual Sports on the air once again with Notre Dame football, the Mutual Football Game of the Week. The Fighting Irish matched against a strong Pitt Panther 11. The 36th meeting of these two teams. One of the old line rivalries that dates all the way back to 1909. 60 years of football. Coach Carl DePasqua coming off of a big upset win by the Panthers over Syracuse last Saturday, 21-20. It's particularly impressive when you note that powerful Penn State was able to defeat Syracuse by only a single point the week before, 15-14. So this big, strong Pitt team could spell trouble for the Fighting Irish this afternoon. Coach DePasqua, in his first year at the Pittsburgh helm, made the announcement at the beginning of the football season that he would make some basic changes in their style of football this year, and they have. They have returned to Western Pennsylvania-style football, just tough, hard-nosed, fundamental football. It's one of the biggest and strongest teams that the Panthers have fielded in years, and they have wins over Duke, Navy, and Syracuse to prove that they can play the game any given Saturday afternoon. The
Notre Dame's head coach, Ara Parsegian. Coach, a fine win over the Navy Ball Club, and you had an opportunity to see your squad last Saturday against the Navy, including some that I didn't have on the roster.
Well, that's exactly right. I didn't expect to play that many, I'll be honest with you, Van. Navy, of course, is having their difficulties. They're not a very big, strong football team, but they did have a passer. They did have a receiver, and we were always concerned when you get into a college game, anything can happen. As a matter of fact, on the opening kickoff, we muffed the ball, came out to the 4-yard line, fumbled at the 19, and I thought, uh-oh, it's going to be one of those afternoons. But we righted ourselves, and our team played a real good, solid offensive and defensive football game, and, of course, we had it pretty well in hand by the half. And it gave me an opportunity to play my second and third units in the second half, and guys like Bill Etter, a sophomore, had a chance to really do a job, and a lot of the other fellows played exceptionally well, and I was pleased really because these youngsters, you know, come out for the football team, and the primary objective is to play. And when you get a chance to play them in ball games, why, it helps the morale and it helps everybody.
Well, you know, I was surprised in the last half you threw only one pass, and I understand that was a mistake.
Well, it was. It's not our intention to roll up scores, contrary to the accusations that are made at times. As a matter of fact, we were ahead 33-0, and I never played my number one unit offensively again, and the troops were under orders to keep the ball on the ground, run basic plays, and we don't want to embarrass one of our great traditional rivals like Navy. They're a great ball club. Yes, we could have scored 60 or 80 points the way the game was going, but that was not our intention. As a matter of fact, the same thing happened in the Army game. We had that pretty much in command by midway in the third quarter, and we did exactly the same thing. Winning is the important thing to us, whether it's by 1 point or by 30 points, and I know the suggestion has been made at times that we do this for the purpose of running up scores and getting a place in the poll. The poll is not interested in whether you win by 60 or 70 points. The poll is interested in whether or not you win and how you win, whether you win big statistically, whether you play well defensively, and whether or not you do a good job as far as your kicking game is concerned. And I think that they look at the overall picture. And this is when we played our second ball club. I felt that our sophomore boys are going to have a chance to go ahead and play in this contest, and it's going to help us as far as the future is concerned. So this is the way we feel about it.
Coach, you'll have more from Ara Parsegian. Coach, I know you get criticism on almost everything every week. You couldn't be absolutely perfect one Saturday and not get criticism. I hear it about your schedule. They say that Notre Dame does not play the tough schedule. You know, and ever since I've gotten some of that, I've been checking some of the other schools' schedule. Schools like Ohio State, for instance.
Well, this is the thing about it, Van. Schedules are one of the things that are a problem in college football, and I've discussed this with our executive vice president, who's chairman of our athletic board, as well as our athletic director, and it's a difficult thing. You can't predict who's going to be the tough teams 8 and 10 years in advance. Now, for example, we have Pittsburgh this afternoon. Prior to the time that I came to Notre Dame, Pittsburgh had dominated the series over Notre Dame. And same way with the Navy team. Navy had won, I think, 3 out of 5 ball games. And as you go through the schedule, you'll find that this is the sort of thing that happens. You never know when a team's going to come out of nowhere and become a great team, and you can't predict 8-10 years in advance. Now, we play a very fine, demanding schedule. We play a coast-to-coast schedule. This is one of the reasons that we're national. We have representation. We play teams from the East, from the far West, from the South, and we have a direct comparison with the teams all around the country. And the same way with Ohio State. Ohio State's schedule isn't quite as difficult this year, but that has nothing to do with Woody Hayes or Dick Larkins, our athletic director. It just so happens that their schedule falls that way. And there are other teams that have had that same blessing and opportunity. But we want to play the toughest teams in the country, and we want to play in all sections of the United States. And this is exactly what we'll be doing in the future. And hopefully the teams that we'll be playing will be all in the top 10.
Coach, in the last 16 quarters of Notre Dame football now in recent weeks, you've been scored on in only 2 of those quarters.
Yes, we're pleased, Ben, with the defensive performance of our ball club, and with 6 sophomores in there, they're developing well, getting a lot of experience, and it's a comforting feeling on the sideline to know that your defense is playing well. The 2 touchdowns that were scored were in the Southern California game against a very fine ball club, a team that no one else has defeated. And outside of that, we've had 3 shutouts in the last 4 ball games. And it's great for a coach to have this feeling on the sideline. We only hope that it continues, but we're going to get a real challenge this afternoon, I can assure you that.
What about this Pittsburgh team?
Well, Pittsburgh is a real fine ball club, one of the most improved teams that I have watched in film. Their coach, Carl DePasqua, has done an excellent job. They've got 3 boys that show up in the NCAA statistics van, which is interesting. Their passer, Friedel, their receiver, Moyer, who is one of the top receivers, and also their kickoff return man and also backup man behind their left halfback, Ferris, a boy by the name of Garnett. And no one has shut this football team out, and they beat a very fine Syracuse ball club last week, 21-20, and nothing will motivate you any better than that, than to beat a team. And as you well know, Syracuse almost beat Penn State the week before, so it gives you an idea of the potential of this Pittsburgh team.
Coach, we need to take a 30-second timeout.
Sure.
Coach, the usual question on Saturday afternoon, what kind of a football game between Notre Dame and Pittsburgh today?
Well, Ben, I'll tell you, I think it's going to be a hard-hitting contest physically. That's number one. Number 2, I think it's going to be a far closer game than most people realize. I only hope that we can win the ball game, even if it's just by 1 point. That's the important thing. But I'm aware of the fact that Pittsburgh will be motivated, will be stimulated, will be giving us their best effort, and I'm only hopeful that our ball club will be doing the same. We'll be minus the services of our tight end, Dewey Poskin, who was injured, and I kept him out of the Navy game in hopes that he would be available for this contest because this is his hometown area. But he will not be available for the game. We've got a few nicks and bruises in the offensive line and a couple of the defensive secondary people. But I'm expecting a real tough, hard-nosed football game, and this is the way Pittsburgh has played in the films. Even though they lost to West Virginia, a couple of block punts contributed to the score in that contest. They're an improving ball club. They're the type of football team that plays sound ball, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that our boys are up to their abilities.
We're still booming Mike McCoy for the Heisman Trophy.
I'll buy that. I think he's a great guy and a great Heisman Trophy prospect, and I hope that he can make it.
Coach, thank you so much, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Van.
Coach Arapar-Segan, the head coach of Notre Dame.
At split in, number 85, George Medich, a senior from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. At left tackle, number 77, Bill Beneke, a junior from Youngstown, Ohio. Number 64 at left guard is Ed Sadowski from Natrona, Pennsylvania. He is a senior. The center, number 56, Dave Magyar from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, is a senior. The right guard, number 65, John Simpson, a sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio. The right tackle is number 70, Rodney Fedorchak. He is from Monongahela, Pennsylvania. And the tight end is number 89, Bill Pilkonis from Lansford, Pennsylvania. In the backfield, number 12, Jim Friedel, a senior from Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. At the wingback, number 80, Steve Moya from Pennsburg, Pennsylvania, a sophomore. The 2 setbacks are number 22, Dennis Ferris, a junior from Pittsburgh, and number 45, Tony Esposito. He is from McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. That's the offensive lineup for the Pitt Panthers as the captains meet at midfield. For the Irish, at split end, number 44, Tom Gatewood, a sophomore from Baltimore. At left tackle, number 61, Jim Riley, the great senior tackle from Yonkers, New York. At left guard, number 56, Larry DiNardo, a junior from Queens, New York. The center, a fellow who walked on the football field 3 years ago, has turned out to be a great prospect and a fine center. Senior, number 54, Mike Oriard from Spokane, Washington. The right guard is number 76, Charlie Kennedy, a senior from Claymont, Delaware. The right tackle is number 64, Terry Brennan, a senior from Chicago. At the tight end is number 87, Tom Lawson, a senior from New York City, starting this afternoon. The wingback, number 22, Denny Allen, a junior from Ashtabula, Ohio. The quarterback is little Joe Theismann, number 7, a junior from South River, New Jersey. Number 32, Ed Ziegler from Woodlawn, Kentucky, a senior, is one of the setbacks. The other is number 33, Billy Bars from Country Club Hills, Illinois, a junior who will start at that spot. He's the leading scorer on this Irish football team with 7 touchdowns so far on the year. Notre Dame is on the field, and they will receive. Pittsburgh will kick off. And here with the exciting play-by-play action is the sports director of the Mutual Broadcasting System and the football voice of Notre Dame, Van Patrick.
For Pittsburgh, and there's the whistle, and here's the boot. One of those flat kicks, a squib kick, and it's taken and fumbled there for a moment. Back to the 20, back to the 25, back to the 30. Goes Mike Cruddy to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, and he is finally brought down on the 44-yard line. That was a flat kick, one of those squib kicks that bound around and almost got over the head there of Mike Cruddy, but Cruddy scooped it up and ran it back to the 44-yard line, and Jinden made the tackle for Pittsburgh. So now it's first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. Out of the huddle they come with Ziegler going wide to the left. Gatewood is flanked out to the right. And here's Theismann rolling out to the right. Being rushed, looks, throws, and this one is taken right on the 35-yard line and inbounds by Bill Bars, the fullback.
Howard Broadhead blasted through from the defensive right tackle of the Pitt Panthers, and Broadhead on that very first play may have indicated what Pitt intends to do. Put all the pressure on Theismann they can, because Broadhead hit him really
the left. In the slot to the right is Denny Allen. Bars the fullback, and here's the give to Bars right up the middle of 30. He goes to the 25 and is dropped on the 25-yard line. Making the tackle in there was Dave Dibley, the right safety man from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. So mark the ball on the 25. Make it second down and a yard to go for Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame versus Pittsburgh, and it's homecoming. Left side, in the slot to the right is Denny Allen. Bars the fullback, a setback. Theismann on a give to Bars. Bars running off left guard, gets to the 23. Ralph Sendricks makes the tackle, but he got a first down as he got it to the 23. That's the second first down for the University of Notre Dame. They have the ball on the Pittsburgh 23 with a first down and 10 to go. Wide to the left is Ziegler as Joe Theismann with a first down. Theismann gives the ball off this time to his fullback again, Bars. Bars ripping right off right guard, found a big hole. He's inside the 10. He's down to the 7. And Jeff Brown makes the tackle there for Pittsburgh.
Tremendous block made there by the offensive center of the Irish and by right guard Charlie Kennedy. Mike Oriard and Kennedy made the key block there, and they open up a big hole to make the run.
Ball is on the 8-yard line. That's 3 first downs for Notre Dame. First down and goal to go, and the give is to Denny Allen. Allen is down to the 5. He stopped on the 5-yard line. McGrath, the linebacker, and Pribish in there to make the tackle for Pittsburgh. The ball actually is closer to the 4, so call it the 4. Make it second down and goal to go from the 4. Notre Dame moving. Out to the left. Allen and Bars, the setback as Theismann calls. And the give is to Allen going wide, turning the corner, and he's into the end zone without being touched for a touchdown, coming wide around the left side. And Notre Dame has jumped out in front with 12:55 to go in the first quarter. They are leading Pittsburgh by a score of 6-0. And now Hempel will attempt, and Notre Dame move 44 yards in 6 plays to pick up the 6 points, and Scott Hempel has been doing a fine job of kicking. He's kicked 28 out of 31 extra points, will attempt. Joe Theismann will hold the ball. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score now is Notre Dame 7, Pittsburgh nothing. We'll be back with the Notre Dame kickoff. 7 pounds. Ready now for the referee, Bob Van Lingen's whistle. There it is, and Hempel moves forward. High end-over-end kick coming down on the 10-yard line, taken there by Garnett. He's back to the 15, goes to the 20, 25, and is hit and knocked down as he reaches the 28-yard line. Knocked down on the 28. So the tackle was made there by Tolman. And it'll be first down and 10 to go for Pittsburgh, and they have the ball on their own 28. Notre Dame defensively with Patulski and Swenson at the ends, McCoy and Kadish at the tackles, Kelly, Schumacher, and Olson. Ratterman backing up the line with Gasser, Ellis, and Stepaniak in that secondary. The quarterback is Jim Friedel. He's rolling to the left, throws one. It is caught at the 31-yard line. It's caught by Steve Moyer, and Moyer is out of bounds around the neighborhood of the 33 or 34. Ellis is the man who chased him out of bounds. They'll mark it on the 34-yard line. Moyer has caught 38 passes. He's right up there among the pass leaders in the NCAA statistics. Moyer's flanked out wide to the right. They're in the pro set, and the give this time is to the fullback, Esposito, trying to go off left tackle, runs right into Bob Olson, right at the 34-yard line, and Olson shoves him right back. And so we'll wait and see where they mark it down. Swenson, the big defensive right end for Notre Dame, was also in on the tackle, so mark it on the 34-yard line, make it third down coming up and about 4 yards to go for Pittsburgh. And Esposito was injured on the play. Moyer's wide to the right, rolling out the right is Freeland. He throws one deep, and this one is incomplete, and interference is called in favor of Moyer. Notre Dame is guilty of pass interference.
Moyer was going down, and I rather thought that Moyer had bumped into the defender there, but they collided, and when Steve went down, well, you saw the flag come out almost immediately. This is one of the key men. Steve Moyer caught 9 passes last week, Van, against Syracuse in an excellent performance. He's caught 37 so far this year.
Vilconis, the tight end, is on the right side. Back goes Friedel to throw. Stays in the pocket, dumps one over the middle. It's completed at the 40-yard line. And the tackle is made by Bob Olson on the 39-yard line. Vilconis, the tight end, was the receiver, and he caught it on the 40 and was dropped on the 39-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 8 yards on the play. Second down and 2 to go for the Panthers. And here's a pitch out from Friedel now to his halfback Ferris, trying to turn the corner. He's at the 35, and he's finally forced out of bounds around the neighborhood of the 32-yard line. He had some good blocking over on the left side, and John Gasser's the man who finally forced him out of bounds.
When you sweep that side where Bob Olson is the man who is the linebacker there, the captain of Notre Dame, the leading tackler with 94 tackles this year.
Now, and here's Friedel rolling out to the right again. He's looking downfield, dumps it right over the middle again. It's completed out there to Medic, and Medic is to the 23-yard line, and the tackle is made by Larry Schumacher. And these short passes are working for Pittsburgh. They have moved the ball down to the 23-yard line, a gain of 9 on that one. It's second down and 1 yard. Moyer's wide to the right again in the pro set with the 2 setbacks. Long cadence count this time by Friedel, the quarterback. He's rolling out the right, looks, throws, completed at the 17-yard line to Moyer. He's at the 15. He's finally knocked out of bounds on about the 12-yard line by Clarence Ellis. And these short passes are working for this Pittsburgh team. Jim Friedel, 5'9", 185-pound senior from Coraopolis, Pennsylvania, and he's doing a good job in there moving this ball club.
The Purdue quarterback, Phipps, found out that he could throw the short pass pattern, and I have a feeling that Pittsburgh, taking a look at that Purdue game, the stuff right over the line would work.
4 for 4 for Friedel. He pitches back this time to Ferris. He's going wide, cuts in now. At the 11-yard line, he got it back to the line of scrimmage, and that was about all. Ratterman, the linebacker on the right side, and John Gasser, the man who brought him down. And now coming into the backfield there, secondary, is Jim Wright with a second down. And here's Friedel rolling to the left again. He gets time. He throws, and this one is incomplete. Intended for Bill Pilconis. Over there to cover was Ellis, but the pass was incomplete. Little pressure was being put on that time by Swenson, the defensive right end of Notre Dame. Now coming in is Wiley again. Coming out of there will be Pilconis. That's in the pro set now. They split the backs. Ferris and Esposito of the backs. Here's Friedel going back to the, he throws out in the left flat to Esposito at the 10. and he is tackled and knocked out of bounds at about the 5-yard line, possibly the 6. And Jim Wright is the man who knocked him out of bounds. Esposito came out of the backfield, went out on the left flat, took the little swing pass, the safety valve. The ball is on the 5-yard line. It will be 4th down and 4 to go, and they're going to go for it, Al. I thought we might see the kicker Spicko, but we do not. They got Moyer out wide to the right in that pro set, and Friedel is back to throw. Throws one incomplete. This one was intended for Pilcones, the tight end in the end zone, and it's incomplete. So that was the 4th down in a 4 situation, so Notre Dame will take over. Let's go down to the sidelines now and Bill Etherton. Now, with Notre Dame taking over on their own 5-yard line. And here's Theismann with the ball and a give to Denny Allen. Allen running off left tackle, gets it out to the 8-yard line, picking up 3 on the play. And making the stop in there was Ralph Sendrich, the middle backer from Avella, Pennsylvania, a sophomore, 218 pounds. And Dykes, who's in there at the defensive end spot, a sophomore also, Jack Dykes. It's the pro set now with the 2 setbacks, Ziegler and Bars. Theismann calls the signals. Theismann on a give to Bars, off left tackle to the 15, comes on up to the 18-yard line. First down. Sendrich makes the tackle. That's 4 first downs for Notre Dame. They got it up to the 18-yard line, starting on the 5. Now we'll get the chain gang moving forward. Notre Dame's leading by a score of 7-0. We've got 9 minutes and 16 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter at Pitt Stadium. 50,000 fans on a gray, overcast day. Now Denny Allen is flanked out wide to the right. Gatewood's in the slot to the right. It's the I formation, and Theismann on the keeper is going to be trapped, brought down on the 17-yard line. He lost a yard on the play trying to go off right tackle. Ellis made the tackle.
Well, Ellis was in on the play. He came charging across the line. Billy Bars slipped on the turf out there, missed his block. That was Bars' man. As he went down, he realized it was just too late because Bob Ellis was right there to make the tackle.
Top of the eye is Ziegler. Signals are being called by Theismann. He's going back to throw, sets up, looks, throws to Bars at the 25. He's tackled on the 27-yard line. From Country Club Hills, Illinois, Bars, Sendrich, and Hall made the tackle for Pittsburgh on the 27-yard line. So the Irish, Joe Theismann, and as you mentioned earlier, Al, their theory, their game plan is to put the pressure on the passer Theismann. I formation now. Balanced line with both ends in tight. Theismann on the give to Allen. Allen rips off left tackle, gets to the 29-yard line. He should have a first down as he moved it up to the 29-yard line. The series of downs started on the 18. It's a first down for Notre Dame, and they have it on their own 29, and that's 5 first downs picked up by the Irish. Next Saturday night, we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, a great southern city, and Georgia Tech will play Notre Dame in a night game. Gatewood is flanked out to the left. Denny Allen is a setback now with Bars. Ziegler's in the slot to the left, and Theismann on a give to Allen off right guard. Allen moves to the 33-yard line, and Bob Ellis from Altoona, Pennsylvania, 218-pound senior, makes the tackle there for the Pitt Panthers.
You know, it's exciting to see this young fellow, this junior Bill Bars from Country Club Hills, Illinois. He blocks on a lot of the plays, and he's an excellent blocker.
5 so far this season. Pro set again. He gives to Bars. He's at the 40. He goes to the 45-yard line and is brought down as he reaches the 46-yard line. Charlie Hall in the secondary making the stop. So Notre Dame picks up another first down. They have it on the 46-yard line, and the University of Pittsburgh calls timeout. First and 10 Notre Dame from their own 46. They've got 2 flankers, Gatewood to the right, Ziegler to the left. Theismann with the ball on the keeper, cuts back at the 45 and is brought down on the 46. He did not gain an inch on the play. And making the tackle there was number 66, Lloyd Weston from Pittsburgh, a junior, 6'1", 232 pounds. And Theismann's running game is not working for him today individually this year. He sends Denny Allen wide to the right. Gatewood is split to the left in the I formation. Theismann rolling out to the right. Gets some protection. Looks, throws, and this one is to Bars at the 45, the 40. Bars to the 30. Bars is down to the 30. They're going to mark it on the 33 where his knee hit the ground. Bill Bars, and Dave Dibley was the man who made the tackle. And so it will be another first down for Notre Dame. And that was a gain of 20 yards on that play, down to the 33, and that's 7 first downs. Last week, Notre Dame established an all-time school record by gaining over 700 yards against the Navy. Here's the I formation again. The top of the I is Ziegler. And here's a give, this time to the fullback Bars. He's to the 29-yard line, running straight ahead, gaining 4 yards on the play, and Sendrich and Naponic made the tackle for Pittsburgh on the 29-yard line. A gain of 4. It will be 2nd down and 6 to go now for the Irish in the first quarter. Ziegler's flanked out to the left. Gatewood is split out to the right in the pro set with a balanced line. And Theismann is going back to throw, sets up beautifully, looks. Gatewood's got it to 15, 10. Gatewood at the 5. Gatewood, touchdown. He broke 2 tackles to get that touchdown.
George Pribish had the tackle on him at the 5-yard line, and there's where Gatewood, who was spinning as he made the catch, and I thought he would go down, spun right out of the tackle and goes in for the touchdown.
The Irish moved 95 yards in 11 plays for the touchdown, and Gatewood taking the pass from Theismann and going in. And now Scott Hempel will attempt the extra point. Notre Dame leading 13-0. Holding the ball will be Theismann. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score now is Notre Dame 14, Pittsburgh nothing. We'll be back. Georgia Tech next Saturday night in Atlanta. Air Force, the final home game at South Bend. Waiting now for the whistle from the referee. We get it, and Hempel moves forward. Here's the boot. Good, high, end-over-end kick. Garnett takes it on the 7. He comes back to the 10, 15. Goes to the 20, gets a block, comes to the 25, comes on up to the 28, and is brought down on the 28-yard line. And making the tackle there for Notre Dame was Thoman again. And so there was a return of 21 yards, and it will be 1st down and 10 to go for Pittsburgh, and they have the ball on their own 28-yard line. 1st and 10. Pittsburgh down now by 14-0. Friedel, the quarterback, 5'9", 185-pound senior. And he sends Moyer out wide to the right, and he is the only flanker. They're in the pro set with a balanced line. Notre Dame's in a 4-3 defense. Friedel calling the signals, gives the ball off to Esposito. Esposito off left guard to the 31-yard line, and that's just about it. In there making the tackle for Notre Dame was Ratterman, the linebacker, along with Bob Olson. And going out of there is Kadish, and Jim Wright is coming in for Notre Dame. So mark the ball on the 32-yard line, wide to the right. Medic is the split in, but he's only out a few yards to the left. It's the pro set, and the give this time is to Ferris. Ferris found a hole over left tackle, and he gets up to the 38-yard line with it, and Bob Olson made the tackle, so he's going to be very close to a 1st down. Stepaniak was also in on the tackle for Notre Dame. Wide to the right now is Moyer, and Notre Dame went charging across the line before the ball was snapped. So the question becomes, did Pittsburgh pull them offside, or were the Notre Dame Fighting Irish guilty of the infraction? It is. Pittsburgh drew them offside, a 5-yard penalty. Oh, it's against Notre Dame. Notre Dame, so it moves to 43. That's 4 1st downs for Pittsburgh Pirates. Wide to right is Moyer again, the pro set. And here's Friedel rolling out the right, looking, throws a sideline pass. It's incomplete. It was intended out there for Steve Moyer, the flanker, who was split out to the right. Over to cover for Notre Dame was Ellis, but it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Panthers from their own 43-yard line. Notre Dame leading 14-0.
Trying that ground game.
Here's Friedel now rolling out the right, looking, dumps that pass over the line. George Medic, the left end, the tight end. Pilconis was also in that zone, but the pass was incomplete. So that makes it 3rd and 10.
Then Bob Olson is floating now, the right inside linebacker of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame in a 4-3. Friedel now going back to throw again. Throws one in the right flat. It's completed. Esposito at the 45. He gets to the 50, goes to the 46, is finally knocked out of bounds by Clarence Ellis as he reached the 46 or the 47. And Olson also in on the tackle for Notre Dame. So mark the ball on the 47-yard line, and Kadish is coming back in, and Jim Wright goes up. And they call time here to get the measurement in, which gives us an opportunity to tell you that Notre Dame leads 14-0 with 3 minutes and 35 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. And Weineke are the tackles. And here's Friedel with the ball, giving off to Esposito. He gets to the 45-yard line and runs right into big Mike Cage and Swinson right there. Also coming up from the secondary was Larry Schumacher, the linebacker, and they will mark the ball on the 46-yard line, so actually got only 1 yard on the play. Wide to the right comes Moyer again. Ferris and Esposito are the setbacks. And here's Friedel back to throw again. He lets one go, and this one is caught at the 20-yard line. And it's caught out there by Medic. Medic is all the way down to the 11, and he is caught from behind by Stepaniak on the 11-yard line, and Friedel doing an excellent job of faking to set that one up.
Some great faking on that play as they sent the runner. They sent Ferris into the line as though he had the ball, and believe me, the whole right side of the Notre Dame defensive line reacted.
Moyer's out wide to the right in the pro set. Friedel on a pitch back this time to Ferris. He's at the 10, trying to turn the corner, and does, and is forced out of bounds at the 6 or 7. Wait till they bring it in. He was forced out of bounds by John Gasser and Clarence Ellis and John Radiman and Tim Kelly. So we'll just have to wait. They bring it in and put it on the 7-yard line. On the 7-yard line, Pilconis and Wiley exchanging again. To the left goes Moyer. And he has Ferris and Esposito as setbacks. Friedel calling the signals. Notre Dame is in a 5-man defensive line. Esposito is forced out of bounds at the 6-yard line as he tried to swing wide around the right side. Stepaniak is the man who knocked him out of bounds.
And Stepaniak, of course, is the man that George Medic caught that 35-yard gainer over a few moments ago, and I think that Ralph wanted to do everything possible to make up for it against the pass.
Steve Moyer is flanked out wide to the left. Ferris and Esposito are the setbacks again. It's 3rd down. Friedel rolling out to the left. He throws, and it is caught, and it's a touchdown. Steve Moyer grabbed it out in the left flat right at the 1-yard line and stepped into the end zone. Listen to this crowd. The Pitt Panthers moved 72 yards in 10 plays. And it was Jim Friedel passing to Steve Moyer, the flanker, for the touchdown. Holding the ball for Pittsburgh will be Gus Steen. Spicko will attempt. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the score is Notre Dame 14, Pittsburgh 7. That squib kick again. It's covered by Notre Dame on the 25-yard line. Malura kicked off for Pittsburgh, that squib kick. And it was covered by Notre Dame on the 25-yard line, and so the Irish will take over on their own 25 with a 1st down and 10 to go. So the quarterback of Pittsburgh, Jim Friedel, has just tossed his 10th touchdown pass, this one going to Moyer.
And that ties the Pittsburgh record of 10 in a season.
Lawson is the tight end. He's on the left side. Ziegler's flanked out to the left. Gatewood to the right. And the give is to Allen. Allen running off left guard, gets to the 27-yard line and is thrown right back by Dave McGrath. Also in there, Bob Ellis and Lloyd Weston making the tackle for the Pittsburgh Panthers with the ball on the 27-yard line. It will be a gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 to go. Lawson goes in tight. Ziegler is wide to the left. Gatewood to the right. Theismann on the draw play to Denny Allen. Allen is brought down right on the 25-yard line. Making the tackle was Lloyd Weston, who diagnosed the play perfectly. It will be 3rd and 10 to go for Notre Dame. Quiet so they can hear the signals. The Panthers are making a lot of noise. 2 flankers now. Allen is out wide to the right. Here's Theismann going back to throw, sets up, looks, throws, and this one is incomplete. Intended for Allen and incomplete. Tribish was the man back there to cover, and that forces Notre Dame to punt for the first time today. And DeArietta comes in to do the kicking. DeArietta is back inside the 15-yard line. Charlie Hall back there in the safety spot. Here's the left-footed boot. It's a high floating pass, and the fair catch is called for. Fumbled. Wild scramble. Let's see who got it. It's covered by Notre Dame. Let's try to get the man of Notre Dame. Coming up with that football, number 64 of Notre Dame coming up with the ball was Brennan. Charlie Hall, Brennan, and Allen were both right there for Notre Dame. So mark the ball on the 46-yard line of Pittsburgh. It will be 1st and 10 for the Irish and a break for Notre Dame. And Ziegler in this wing I formation is the wing part of the I. Allen is in the top of the I. And here's Theismann going back to throw. He throws the home run ball to Gatewood, just out of his reach on the 6-yard line. Bryant Salter was back there to cover, but that was just out of his reach.
Well, Gatewood made the fly down the left side, turned over into the middle. Salter picked him up, and he beat Salter. He had Salter beaten by at least a step and a half. He was behind him, but he just couldn't quite reach that ball. He was trying to flag it down at the 5, but he couldn't quite make it. So it's coming back, Ben, and
apparently a penalty will be inflicted on Notre Dame. The officials are discussing it with the Pittsburgh captain. We're waiting now to see what they're going to do. Now they're going to walk it off. They're flanked. Gatewood is flanked to the right in the I formation with the balanced line. Pittsburgh is in a 5-man defensive line. Theismann rolling to the left. He's going to run with the ball. He's trapped back there. He's going to be brought down back on the 34-yard line by Dave McGrath, who's back in there for Pittsburgh at a linebacker spot. So he dropped him back on the 34-yard line.
Big John Stevens, defensive right tackle, along with Dave McGrath, both were putting a tremendous pressure on Theismann as he came to the near sidelines. And, of course, he turned around, didn't realize anybody was that close to him, tried to duck back, and went right under this big fellow, Dave McGrath.
And time has run out. There's the gun. That's the end of the first quarter with the score Notre Dame 14, Pittsburgh 7. Their own 34-yard line. Denny Allen is wide to the right. Ziegler split out to the left. Here's Theismann going back to throw. Theismann looks, throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Bill Bars up on the 48-yard line, but incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and 32. Joe Carroll was back there to cover. He's a linebacker who replaced McGrath a minute ago. And so Pittsburgh on the scoreboard, it's 14-7 as we start play in the second quarter. For Notre Dame, Denny Allen is the only flanker out wide to the right. In motion now goes Ed Ziegler to the right. Theismann is going back to throw. He throws one to Ziegler to 30, the 35. He's at the 40, the 45. He's at the 50, and there's a flag on the play. He brought it up to the midfield stripe, and there was a flag on the play. Ralph Sindrich, the middle backer from Avella, Pennsylvania, is the man who made the tackle. So there is a discussion on the play as a flag was thrown. He threw that one out in the right flat, and it was carried up to the midfield stripe. So the penalty, if assessed, evidently, the preliminary indication is that it will be against Notre Dame. So we'll just have to wait and see. This is Van Patrick, along with Al Wester and Bill Etherton and Paul Pentecost, coming your way from the Pitt Stadium across the nation on Mutual. For Notre Dame, DeArietta is in there. He's averaged 34.5 on his left-footed kicks. This one a high floater. It's coming down to 15, rolling, and finally goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. A good kick by DeArietta. So it'll be 1st down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. A 38-yard kick for Notre Dame's opponents of the day, the Pittsburgh Panthers. So place it right on the 12, make it 1st and 10. Here's the pro set with Moyer, who caught the touchdown pass a moment ago out wide to the right. And the give is to Dennis Ferris, the running back from Pittsburgh, 6'1", 202-pound junior. He tried left tackle, and he got at the most about a half a yard, that's all. And he ran into big Mike McCoy, and he's getting tremendous support around the nation for the Heisman Trophy. No interior lineman has ever won that trophy. Moyer out wide to the right in this pro set again is the only flanker, and the give is to the halfback again, Ferris, who goes over left guard across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. And Olson made the tackle for Notre Dame. Olson, who leads this club in tackles. To the left, Moyer's out wide to the right. Friedel is rolling to the right, throws to Moyer, incomplete. He was covered by 2 men, Tim Kelly over there and Ellis, but the pass was overthrown. It's 4th down coming up, and Spicko comes in to do the kicking. They've dropped McGrath back to do the kicking instead of Spicko, who has averaged better than 40 yards, but McGrath is standing back there on about the 2, and he boots it deep. And a fair catch is called for on the 43-yard line by Notre Dame. The fair catch was called for by Goulias. That was a 41-yard kick. And he didn't have anybody around him, but of course he had no way of knowing that. It was a high kick. It did give Pittsburgh time to get downfield and cover him, so Notre Dame, with great field position with the ball on their own 43-yard line, first down. 1st and 10 to go from their own 43. Allen in the slot. Now it's Allen on the handoff from Theismann. He's at the 45, turning the corner around the left side, gets to the 48 or 49, and Ralph Sendrich, the middle backer, is the man who made the stop there. And Pribish making the tackle for Pittsburgh on the 49. A gain on the play from the 43 to the 49, 6 yards, 2nd down and 4 to go. They are in the pro set formation with 2 setbacks, Ziegler and Bars, and the give is to Ziegler off left tackle. He's to the 46-yard line in the Pittsburgh territory, to the 46-yard line, and there he is brought down. It looks like it might be another first down. Stevens made the tackle, the right tackle, John Stevens from Sharon, Pennsylvania. So mark the ball on the 46-yard line of Pittsburgh. Make it 1st down and 10 to go for Notre Dame from that point. Gatewood is in tight, so is Lawson, the tight end on the left side. And Ziegler and Bars, and the give is to Ziegler. Ziegler's to the 40, and is tackled on the 40-yard line of Pittsburgh, and Sendrich is the man who made the tackle again for Pittsburgh, along with McGrath and Jeff Brown, the linebacker on the right side. So mark it right on the 40. Make it 2nd down coming up now for Notre Dame with the ball on the 40. Wide to the right now is Denny Allen, and going back is Joe Theismann on the handoff. He gives it to his fullback, Bill Bars. In there to make the tackle that time was Stevens. And let's see where they mark it. It'll be around the neighborhood of the 38-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines and Bill Etherton. Wide to the right is Denny Allen. They're in the I formation with Gatewood in the slot to the right, and Theismann on a give now to Ziegler, and Ziegler's at the 36-yard line with it. He's very close to a first down. He's tripped up there by Dibley, the safety man from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and the ball will be marked on the 36, where it will be 4th down, and it's going to be just about a half a yard to go for a first down. So Notre Dame will go for it. They have 4th down and about a half a yard to go. They are in the wing eye with both ends in tight, and the give is to Allen. He's at the 35. He's got the first down. He got to the 34. Denny Allen was the ball carrier, and Allen in 95 carries has gained 397 yards. He's averaged 4.2, and Sendrich and Pribish made the tackle for the Panthers.
Well, I don't want to be called for predicting anything, but I will say this. The deep backs are in real tight now for Pittsburgh.
Gatewood is out wide to the right. Here's the give to Allen off left tackle. He's at the 25, or 30, or 35, 30, and he's tackled there on the 30, and he fell forward to about the 29-yard line, and Dibley made the tackle for Pittsburgh on the 29-yard line. A gain on the play of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 to go. Gatewood is to the right. Bars and Allen are the setbacks for the Fighting Irish. Signals are being called now by Huff is in that backfield now, and Theismann hands it off to Allen. Allen's at the 23-yard line and is brought down on the 23. Maybe another first down for Notre Dame. Pribish is in there to make the tackle for Pittsburgh. It is a first down. They have it on the 23-yard line. Andy Huff is in that backfield now for Notre Dame.
And Andy Huff just made the key block on linebacker Dave McGrath.
And there's a timeout with a score. Notre Dame 14, Pittsburgh 7. High formation again with Huff and Allen, and here is a Theismann on the keeper that time, running off right guard, gets down to the 19-yard line, and Sendrich in there to make the tackle for the Pitt Panthers. Coming in now is Joe Carroll at the linebacker spot, and McGrath is coming out. Gatewood is flanked out to the right. And here's Theismann again on the keeper. Theismann cutting back in over tackle, gets to the 15. He's down to the 14-yard line and is brought down on the 14-yard line, and Pribish was in on the tackle. Also Carroll, Joe Carroll, number 49. So mark the ball on the 14-yard line. This series originating on the 23. It's 3rd and about 1. Notre Dame has 105 yards and 26 carries. We have 8 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the first half. Notre Dame leading 14-7. And here's Theismann going back to throw. He's got all day. He can't find anybody open. He's going to be thrown down. Back on the 18-yard line. Well, he set that play up beautifully, but the secondary there, Dykes, is the man who threw him down. The secondary had the receivers covered, and so Theismann just had to eat a lot of football.
It was a beautifully hidden ball. Joe does not put it on the hip. He just puts it in the pit of his stomach, turns around, trots back, bluffs the handoff going into the line, faked it so completely nobody put the charge on him. Then suddenly, here came Dykes out of nowhere to catch him on the sidelines.
4th and 5 to go with the ball on the 18-yard line of Pittsburgh. Gatewood to the right. And here's Theismann rolling out the right. He's looking for a receiver. He throws. It's caught by Andy Huff down on the 7-yard line. He had 2 Pittsburgh Panthers all over him, and he still managed to get that football.
He has his jersey almost ripped away. The fellow who had him by the jersey was Bob Ellis, and Ellis gets up shaking his head. He cannot believe that he actually tore the jersey almost completely off of Joe Theismann, and Theismann still wrenched the loose and got the ball into the air.
That was the 4th down, and they came up with a big play, and here's Theismann on the keeper. Theismann is hit right at the 10. Knocked down at the 10-yard line, losing 2 yards. Pribish coming up from that secondary to make the tackle on Theismann. And they're finding the running game a little tough right now in that Pittsburgh line. Dykes in there to make that stop again. So mark it on the 10. Gatewood is split to the right. Andy Huff and Denny Allen in the I formation, and Theismann is going back to throw. He looks, he throws. It's completed to Huff. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Out in the left flat, he hit Andy Huff, who was all by himself. Huff it was who caught the big play a moment ago, the big pass, to give them the first down on the 8-yard line. And so Notre Dame has moved 57 yards in 14 plays and now lead 20-7, and Scott Hempel is in to attempt. Joe Theismann will hold. That's the situation on a gray, cold, overcast day here at Pitt Stadium. This stadium is not equipped with lights. Very windy day. Theismann spots the ball. Hempel kicks. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the score now is Notre Dame 21, Pittsburgh nothing. We'll be back. The ball is teed up again by Scott Hempel, who has booted all 3 extra points today. He's missed only 3 this season. And now here is the boot by Hempel. And it's a floating kick coming down to Garnett. Oh, it's taken now over by a wingback over there on the 10. He comes back to the 15. Goes to the 20, comes on up to the 25. It's Lewis. He's up to the 40. He runs it back to about the 43, and he is finally brought down. That was Lewis, J.D. Lewis of Raleigh, North Carolina. Stepaniak is the man who made the tackle for Notre Dame on the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. A run back of 35 yards by J.D. Lewis of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Merletti cut over in front of him there on the special teams for the Irish, and helped too in making that stop possible.
Wide to the right goes Moyer. Friedel calling the signals with those 2 setbacks. And Friedel rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. Throws one. It is intercepted by Notre Dame. Intercepted in there by Ratterman. And Ratterman takes it on the 40, gets it back to about the 42-yard line. Number 41, John Ratterman. And that's Notre Dame's first interception today.
It's also John Ratterman's first interception of the year, and I could see him jumping up and the guys slapping him on that gold helmet as the defensive unit goes to the sidelines. Very happy that the Irish have taken the ball away. Great deal of credit should go there to Mike Kadish, who put a strong rush on quarterback Jim Friedel.
Signals are being called by Joe Theismann, both ends in type. He gives it to Denny Allen. He's following his blocker there beautifully off left tackle. Gets to the 49-yard line, and Ralph Sendrich made the tackle on the 49.
Charlie Kennedy kicking out there from the right guard spot. He leads the interference, and the senior from Claymore, Delaware, was right out in front there. He threw the key block there to hold up Ralph Sendrich just long enough for the runner to get some yardage.
Times he's gained 41 yards. The wing eye to give to Allen up the middle. He gets to about the 48, and that's it. Now coming in here is Paul Naponic, coming back in at right end defensively for Pittsburgh. The ball is on the 48-yard line. And the officials are asking for time, and now they're charging the timeout to Pittsburgh, so there's a timeout with the score Notre Dame 21, Pittsburgh 7. It's 3rd down and just about a yard to go. Theismann on to give to Bars, and Bars is all the way down to the 38 on a power play right straight up the middle. McGrath made the tackle. Power right up the middle. Ball on the 38-yard line of Pittsburgh. It'll be 1st down and 10 to go for the Irish from that point. Ball is midway between the sideline stripes on the Pittsburgh Panther 38 defense, and here is the give to Denny Allen spinning into the line, and Denny gets to the 37, got just about a yard, and Jeff Brown makes the tackle. He's a junior from Monroeville, Pennsylvania. John Stevens is coming out, so we'll have a change at tackle. Wide to the right is Gatewood. It's the wing eye formation, and here's Theismann. Rolling out the right, looking, throws the bars, 25, 20, 18, tackle down on the 18. They may rule it dead on the 19. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WBBW FM Stereo 93.3 on your dial in Youngstown, Ohio.
Down for Notre Dame on the 19, Theismann passing to bars. Theismann calling the signals. Gatewood flanked out to the left to give us to Ziegler. He's at the 15. Ziegler is out of bounds on the 12-yard line. A gain on the play of 7, and Dave Dibley, the safety man, knocked him out of bounds. And Theismann is now 7 out of 10 for 107 yards.
Well, he keeps a threat there all the time that he can go with the pass, but they've been keeping the ball on the ground quite a bit. The surprising thing to me, Van, is that Pittsburgh has done very little blitzing, once or twice today, and when you get this much of a running game, normally you see the blitz going.
Here's the give to Allen, off left tackle, cutting back. He's at the 5, he's at the 4, he's pulled down on the 4-yard line. A first down for Notre Dame, and Fribish is the man who made the tackle. Down on the 4-yard line of Pittsburgh. First down and goal to go. Coming back in is McGrath. Joe Carroll comes out. Carroll is from Warren, Ohio, a sophomore. McGrath is from Altoona, Pennsylvania. In the second quarter, Theismann calling the signals. First down and goal to go. Theismann on a give to his fullback, trying the middle again, Bill Bars. And Bars got it down to about the 3. Sendrich in there makes the tackle. Let's give him 2 to the 2-yard line. So make it now second down and goal to go on the 2. Bill Bars carrying the ball in the way of rushing. Here's the give to Allen. Touchdown, Notre Dame, running over left guard. Got some good blocking over there. Oriard and DiNardo and Riley cut in over left guard, crossed the Pittsburgh goal line, and now Hempel is in to attempt the extra point. It's 27-7. Notre Dame leading, and we have 3 minutes and 29 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half of the ball game at Pitt Stadium. Theismann will hold, and Hempel will attempt. That's the situation at Pitt Stadium. It's a very, very overcast day and no lights here. The kick is up, flag is down. The kick is good, but a flag is down. Let's see what happens. The penalty would have been against Pittsburgh. Notre Dame has declined the penalty. And the score now is Notre Dame. Well, they're still discussing it, so hold it. We'll just have to wait and see what they do. The discussion goes on. Now they decline it officially. So the scores, Notre Dame 28, Pittsburgh 7. We'll be back. That was the first Pittsburgh penalty of the day. Notre Dame has about 39 yards. Here's the boot now by Hempel. High end-over-end kick, and waiting for it is Garnett. He takes it on the 2. Comes back to the 5. Goes to the 10, 15, 20, 23. Brought down on about the 23-yard line. Tackle made by Don Reed. And it'll be first down and 10 to go now for the Panthers, and they have the ball on their own 23-yard line. Notre Dame leading by a score of 28-7. That was a 21-yard return on the part of Dave Garnett. First and 10 for the Panthers. Double wing formation. Flags are down. Whistle blows. And both lines were charging before the ball was snapped. 3 minutes, 22 seconds of playing time remaining here in the first half. So a discussion on this play, preliminary indication the penalty will be against Pittsburgh, and I would assume it will be illegal procedure. Next Saturday night will be Atlanta, Georgia. Had him for a loss anyway, so Notre Dame declined the penalty, keep the down box moving. Friedel on to give this time to his halfback Dennis Ferris, and Ferris tries the middle of the line, gets to the 25-yard line, where it will be a third down coming up and 8 yards to go, and Bob Olson made the tackle, the co-captain, 6-footer, 230 from Superior, Wisconsin, a senior. Moyer's wide to the right. Friedel is rolling out to the right. The pressure is on. He's being trapped out there and brought down by Big Swinson, and he gets away from him. His knee never hit the ground. He finally got away from Swinson and threw the ball to Ferris, and incomplete. How did he get out of that? He looked like Houdini.
Swinson came in on the blind side. Believe it or not, Jim Friedel didn't even see him until Swinson was on top of him, just covering him practically. It looked as though he would go down. Swinson went down. Friedel managed to hold on and not put his knee down.
Back in kick formation is McGrath. McGrath is inside the 15-yard line. He's going to throw the ball. He throws it, and it is dropped. Intercepted by Notre Dame for a second and then dropped.
Great thought there by Jim Wright. Wright realized if he held on to the football, Van, he would lose about 20 yards on that since it was a fourth down play. And Jim Wright of Sparta, New Jersey, just showed you what savvy he has when he thinks on a football field.
Now they flood that zone to the left, and here's another offensive formation, Al, that we haven't seen this year. And the give us is Ziegler coming around the right side, cuts in at the 22, and a tackle is made right there. Making it was Bob Ellis along with Charlie Hall. So it'll be marked on the 22, and that's a new offensive formation we have not seen. He banned the zone to the left.
We also saw something a great deal different on the defensive unit a few moments ago. They set two of the linebackers inside of the ends.
Carroll is back in there. Here's Theismann rolling out to the left. He's going to run with the ball. He's at the 20, and he is tackled at the 18-yard line. At the 18-yard line, making a tackle there was Dykes, along with Salter, number 20, the right cornerback from Pittsburgh. And let's see where they're going to mark it, where he went out of bounds, right on the 18 as we called. Theismann calling the signals, third down and about 2. And the give now is to the halfback, Allen. Allen off left tackle. He found a big hole. Moves all the way down to the 7-yard line, where it'll be first down and goal to go. All the way down to the 7. He had some blocking on that left side again. First down, goal to go for Notre Dame. Ready to go now with the pro set, one flanker, and Theismann on to give this time to Ziegler. He's going wide. Now he cuts back at the 5, gets down to the 4. He got 3 on the play, and Sendrich made the tackle. And the secondary man, left cornerback Charlie Hall, making the stop. So mark the ball on the 4-yard line. Make it second down and goal to go for Notre Dame. Here's the wing eye formation with the balanced line. And the give is to the fullback. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Bill Bars, who was hit right at the line. Weston made the tackle, along with Pribish, the left safety man. Let's go to the sidelines, Bill Etherton.
Man, I wanted to tell you that Dewey Poskin, Notre Dame's #1 tight end, as you have mentioned quite frequently, has been sidelined for this game with a pinched nerve.
Riley and Brennan the tackles, and Ziegler is flanked out to the left. Bars and Allen the setbacks. The give is to Allen. Allen cutting in, fumbles the ball, covered, I believe, by Notre Dame on the 3. Allen was down on about the 1-yard line, and the ball squirted out of his hands.
Believe me, I believe that was a fine example of tackling the football because 2 men hit him about the time. With the momentum he had, he was going to go into the end zone, but the ball just shot straight into the air.
And they are in the wing eye formation with Gatewood flanked to the right. Theismann rolling out to the right, looking for a receiver. He stops, he looks, he throws. Gatewood, touchdown. DiNardo delivered a tremendous block to give Theismann time to throw that ball, and Gatewood was all by himself in the end zone. Notre Dame went 26 yards in 7 plays, and they lead 34-7 over the Panthers, who upset Syracuse last week. Hempel has made good on all of his previous tries. The ball is in the air, and it is good. And so Notre Dame has now moved out in front by a score of 35-7 over the... Waiting for the whistle. There it is. And here's the kick, a low floater that's rolling around and finally rolls out of bounds. So that means he'll have to kick it over again. Waiting for the whistle. There it is. And here's that squib kick again. Only this one floats around the neighborhood of the 20. It's taken on the 18, fumbled out of bounds. And that was
J.D. Lewis, who fumbled the ball. And here's Friedel giving on the draw play to Esposito. Esposito running off left guard, gets up to the 27-yard line, and there he is brought down by Mike McCoy. 275 pounds of Mike McCoy from Erie, Pennsylvania, a senior. So Pittsburgh goes back in the huddle again, and there is the gun, and that's the end of the first.